Hi everyone, Deborah Lynn here in the studio. I hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to do beautiful Christmas ornaments and we're going to paint them with acrylic. And this is it's pretty easy. I'm going to show you it's not as difficult as you might think. And they have quite a few steps here, so I had to speed up the film here. I also will have to cut the film in places, and I have to do a voiceover because initially I just talked through the whole thing, but then the video ended up being 2 hours. Now, I didn't think you guys would want to sit around here for 2 hours, so I am going to cut parts out. I have to speed it up. I put it at ×2, so if you go up to your YouTube, there's a little wheel up at the top, a little icon. If you click on that icon, it will let you go and adjust the speed. So if you need it to slow down, you can adjust that in your actual settings on your YouTube. So the other thing that I'm going to do, so you're going to see me splice, and I'm going to be doing a voiceover. So my hand gestures and everything that's going on is going to be different than what I'm saying. Okay, so basically what I've got here is I just have a palette. These are one of those peel palettes that you can peel the paint right off of, like acrylic paint. It'll peel right off when it's dry. And it's a nice palette. It's by Magello. If you're interested in it, I'll drop it in the comment section below. I'm just putting some titanium white down. You always need some titanium white to do your mixing. So create different values in the colors that we're choosing here. So right now, this color that I have chosen is one of my favorite blue colors, and it's called Indothrone. It's delicious. It's a really deep kind of blue color, but it's like the color you would see on a blue and white vase almost. It's so beautiful. And this is Nova Colors Deep Green. I'm usually very, very picky about greens, and greens are a tough one for paint lines. They don't always hit the mark. I know that Daniel Smith for watercolors does a fabulous job with their greens. They've got a nice range of greens. They do a really nice job. This is the I think it's Quin Violet. And so greens are tricky. Sometimes sometimes it's just easier to make your own green. And that's what I end up doing here. I use this deep green and then I add the yellows to it to change it up a little bit. White, yellow, just to change it. Now, this is their hot pink. At least you'll get to see it. I don't end up using it. I did put it down, but it just didn't feel right. For whatever reason, I didn't put it into play. But you can see their hot pink color. I'll move that in just a moment so you can see I'll clean off the backside of that container. All smeared. Oh, I didn't. Oh, you'll see it here in a minute. You see the pink right there? Okay, those are the Christmas ornaments that I got on Amazon. They were just clear plastic ornaments, and then I put gesso over them. If you don't know what gesso is like a white, think of it as like a primer. You put the white down, it's called white gesso, and I put that all over it. And that, of course, I use the Nova Paints gesso. And right now the Indothrone is going down, and you can actually see through it. The white gesso is peeking through, and I'm okay with that. And now I'm getting a little bit of the oops, that's just a marker making it look like a lollipop almost. It helps me hold the ornament. A little bit of Indothrone and a little bit of that Quin Violet is kind of creating this color right here. It's just kind of mixing on the actual ornament itself. So I'm just going in, you guys, and I'm just creating different colors on the ornaments. And I'm going to splice here, and then, well, I'll let you see this one. Oh, Wait, what am I putting down? What is this? Okay, so this is really pretty. You can see that Quinn violet. It's so pretty. And then you add the titanium. It's one of my favorite. I just love that color. Okay, so I'm going to splice here and then come back. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to put down 2 more colors, but I want you to see them so you know what I'm working with, and if you're interested in buying some yourself. This is the Indian yellow. It's very transparent, as you can see, and this is that cad yellow, medium. And I have a tendency to like the medium colors a lot. And so I've got those down. I'm going to splice and then we'll move forward. Okay, now I have my green that I'm getting out. This is that deep green cadmium yellow mixed with a little bit of the titanium. So I'm getting a variation. As you can see, it's kind of mixing on the actual Christmas ornament itself. Instead of mixing it up really well on the tray, I like to pick up different colors and just so there's some variation. So I'm not like pre-mixing everything and then putting it on. I'm letting the brush have a little bit of white, have a little bit of yellow, have a little bit of green. You understand? So there's that variation on my brush. I was just using a round brush, just like a number 8 round, nothing elaborate. Right now, I've just have a Posca pen. This is a white Posca pen, and I like dots. It's just something I like to do. So, and I have this nature of being a little bit more on the whimsical side, so putting playful little dots in the background just sounded like a great idea. You don't have to do this if you don't want, but that's just something I have a tendency to like to do. I also like to use glitter, and you'll see that come into play. And if you don't want glitter on your Christmas ornaments because you don't like to deal with glitter, then you don't have to do that either. But I'm going to show you how I go about painting the flowers, and that'll be just coming up here in a minute. So right now, I've got all the leaves down. I'm putting some dots into play. And it kind of just gives it that interest in the background. So it's not just a painted background surface and then the leaves and the flowers. There's more going on. I'm always looking for more. Okay, so now I'm gonna get the green going here, but I'm also gonna be demonstrating here in a second how I actually do the swiping with the brush. I'll be showing you here on the pad because sometimes you guys don't quite understand how is she creating these really loose, like leafy effects. And there you go. It's just 1, 2, 3. I just do it in real fast. I don't take a whole lot of time. I just get it down and get it over with and move on to the next step. And now I'm just putting some dots in, trying to avoid all the wet spots because you can mess up your Posca pen if you stick it in wet acrylic, and I'm pretty sure I was able to not mess it up. And I'm just going around the perimeter making dots there too. And you're probably wondering, how are you holding this? What is the stick? It's just a marker that I shoved into the neck of the ornament, and it just helps me hold it. Because if you have it in your hand, then when you're spinning it, you're just gonna get that paint all over your hand. So you almost have to have something in that neck of that ornament. You have to look and find something that you might have laying around that would work. And a chunky marker worked perfect for me. Okay, so this is just, I've got the deep green, cadmium yellow, and white. And as you can see, I'm not like pre-mixing a yellow. I'm not pre-mixing the colors. I'm kind of just putting a little bit of each color on my brush and then taking it to the ornament and kind of letting it mix on the ornament. Now you can see how I'm actually going about making those swipey leaf marks. It's that easy. This is the red oxide, okay? It's very transparent. It's kind of a yellowy orange color. Now I've got, whoops, I went the wrong way. Now it's got kind of a, it's kind of like a burnt kind of orange color. It's really beautiful. And I put that in the middle, like make a little round spot of it. And then I pull the brush into it, pull in the brush. Sometimes I get confused. I pushed out. Go from out to in to the center, from the outside into the center. Sometimes I get confused when I'm actually painting. It's like, oh, I did it wrong again. See, I had to think there for a second. I did it again. Until I get going, I can never get it in my brain. So that's what I'm doing, is just, and that activates that color, and it gets on your titanium white that's on your brush. And so you'll have pre-mixing is happening on the actual Christmas ornament itself, instead of pre-mixing on the side and being real slow and methodical and trying to get it perfect. I'm doing these real loose. And I mean, seriously, if I slowed this down, I'm doing one of these buds, or what do you want to say, these blooms, one of the blooms in like, 10 seconds. Quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boom, it's done. That fast. And sometimes you might have to get it like a sketch pad like you have there and practice on the sketch pad a few times, just so you get a feel of it. Because I've been painting for a while, so it kind of comes almost second nature, except for getting started. I always go in the wrong direction. Sometimes that stuff, muscle memory starts to build, and so sometimes it's, you might say it's more difficult than, it's harder than you make it look. And that's only because I've been doing it for a longer period of time, possibly. So everything takes time. But practice on a sketch pad. That's all this is. And the thing is that's beautiful about sketch pad, you can turn this paper. This paper will end up being collage paper that I use. Actually, I ended up painting over this one. And what I did, which you guys might want to do too, is I painted over it with the acrylic, and I made like a really loose landscape. And then I used the sketch paper to wrap the box to one of the ornaments. Well, I had 2 sheets like this, and I wrapped 2 boxes. So one of these 18 by 24 sheets of sketch paper will let you wrap one 5 by 5 square box. So this one is more the shape of, what do I want to say? I'm drying it right now. Is the shape of a cone flower. I'll have to put stems on them. You're looking at it upside down at the moment. That'll give you the side views a little bit easier. But as you can see, it's just super, super easy. All that green is on there with the leaves in the background. And as you can see, I didn't have to get all technical and put in all kinds of information. You can do it quick. Okay, looks cute just like that almost too. Okay, so I'm putting some orange down. Well, it's not orange, that is Indian yellow. It's way too transparent. I'm not getting enough color there, so I'm putting a little bit of oxide there. And it's mixing, now I'm making kind of yellowy blooms on this one. And I'm going from the outside in, and that's just, oh, that one I went the wrong direction, and I have a tendency to do that. My brain will switch on me. Oop, that one grabbed a lot of orange, but you can always go back in there. I can go back in and kind of adjust that, and sometimes my brush work, I have a tendency to move real quick, and sometimes I go out of bounds there. And that's got a little bit of a bright white. I don't think I catch that. I think that ends up staying like that. It is what it is. It's pretty, and it doesn't matter. So let me talk to you about this. When you go to dry your ornament to move on to the next stage, whatever you do, I made the mistake on my test ornaments. Whatever you do, keep your dryer on cool, because if you don't, you're going to have dimpling. It will dimple in, and it does melt real easily. So keep that in mind. Cool setting only, or just let them dry on their own. Now I'm just going to start working on the centers, and I'm just going to use my yellows in there, maybe a little bit of white. I think I even go in with a gold pen and add some highlights with the gold pen. You'll see that here in a little while. So I'm just doing a mixture, and it's just stippling. That's all I'm doing. It's just a little stipple, 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 just to put some texture in there. And of course, you want to build from really dark in the background and get lighter, so looks like there's highlights at the top. So you got to keep in that mind that you have to build up those values. You got to get that depth in there. And if you lose it, like that one, looked like I had lost it a little bit, I had to go back in and just add a bit more of that transparent red oxide. Okay, so now I'm just going to get a little bit. Okay, I'm just making a mixture here. I'm working on the little, what do I want to say? The little crown, what do you call it? The head of the flower. I can't think of the name of it. And I have a tendency also to not like do the whole top of the flower, okay? I will do a portion of it and leave some untouched, and then the other side is more highlighted. So it looks like one side is more in the shadow where you don't see all the highlights and all the extra colors and all that stuff. So I don't completely do the whole head. So this is just a little tip. So see how I'm only doing the highlights in a certain, I don't go all the way around the whole head of the flower there. And if you overdo, you can always go back in and add more depth also. Having that marker in there makes a huge, huge difference. And here I'm just making a really dark color just to make the stems. And you just follow the very, the top of the flower down. And then you find your stem that way. Okay, so that one is complete. It's ready for the next stage. And this one I'll work on some centers here. I'll put a picture of, after this video, I ended up doing 6 more ornaments. And those are, you'll see that in the video. I'll show you that. And I'll also show you how I transformed my paper that I'm actually offloading all my paint onto. I painted over that, and I painted some paper, some sketch paper, and I turned it into wrapping paper for the ornament. So I'll show you that also in the very end. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would love for you guys to join my channel. And if you click on the bell, that will notify you when I add new videos. Now, the only problem that I see with YouTube, with their algorithms, is if you haven't watched me for a while, you might not be seeing everything, might not pop in. That's the only downfall. That if you don't watch me for a couple months, then it's moved on away from me onto somebody else. So maybe that's why you may have not seen my videos. Some people saying, "Oh, you posted something." Well, they didn't. Either they haven't subscribed and hit the bell, or you know, or the algorithms are fighting against you. And if you join my group on Facebook, then you'll definitely know when I load a new video, because I always announce that on Instagram, usually on Instagram and Facebook. And if you go to the description box, if you click on the description of the video, it'll take you to the description box, and there you'll see links to the products. You'll see links to my social media, where you can get in touch with me or join my Facebook group, or follow me on Instagram. This is Decor Color. It is an oil-based oil pen. It is gold. It's beautiful. And I'm just doing some small highlights with this gold just to add a little bit of bling. There's going to be a lot of bling here in just a minute, because we're going to be now moving into the fun part of, well, it's all fun. The painting's fun, gold pen's fun, the glitter's fun, the ribbon's fun. And then the wrapping paper I end up doing, it was a huge project, but it was so gratifying and so fun. I absolutely love doing projects like this, like a big art project. And right now on the side, I'm having fun. In my Facebook group, I just showed them, I was outside doing something, and I'm like, oh, look at all these rocks. I always seen people paint rocks. I've never painted a rock before, so I picked up these pebbles, and now I'm like creating these goofy faces on the rocks, and it's some gals with attitude, and then I'm giving them funny sayings on the backside. So there's always something. I always like something fun to do. I'm always wanting to be creative, and I get really tired of doing the same thing over and over and over again. That's where I was painting flowers over and over and over until I was like, I can't. I was so burned out that it's like I need to do something else. So I kind of ventured out, and I taught myself to start working with acrylics more, and dabble in soft pastels, and dabble in oils, and just because I'm new to art, okay? I've only been doing this since 2018, so I consider myself relatively young with art. I wasn't like a kid that grew up that was always drawing or painting, or I wasn't that kid. I was the kid that was always decorating. That's why my chosen field was interior design. I was always helping my mom decorate, or stuff like that, always beautifying my space, always changing my space. So I found different ways of being creative, and it's not until 2018 things take a turn and things changed for me, and I was painting furniture. And, you know, the big rage, everybody was painting furniture, and I was doing the whole Annie Sloan thing, and I was doing all of that, and I was having a blast doing it. And then I tripped and fell, and I broke some ribs and messed up my knee and ankle and wrist, and I was a mess, and I couldn't paint. Couldn't paint. And I just prayed. I just prayed to God. It was simple. It was heartfelt, but it was simple. It's like, God, give me something creative to do, but bless me mightily. That is it. That is all I prayed. And do you know, a month later, I was painting with watercolor. And then probably a year after that, my YouTube started, because I was getting people saying, show me how you do that. Show us. We want a tutorial. Show us, show us, show us. And I'm like, okay, well, these people really want me to show them how I'm doing this. I don't really know myself what I'm doing, because I've only been doing it like a year. But I jumped on the bandwagon and just started sharing. And here we are today. And slowly, my channel is increasing. And it's been a joy. It really has been a joy. It keeps me. Oh, there's one of my first ornaments I had to the side. I got what did I get on it? I got matte medium all over it. There's the original one. Okay, I'm going to talk to you about this. This was my test dummy. I put over the top of it, I put Mod Podge on it, and it's super, super sticky. And so it was a fail. It ended up drying after about 3 or 4 days. It stopped being so sticky, but I would be very hesitant to store them next to each other or against anything, because that Mod Podge could melt when it's being stored, and you will have a hot mess. So I'm just letting my ornaments be. I'm not going to do anything. I could put a spray over them, like a spray varnish, but I think I'm just going to just let them be, because it's acrylic. I know there's like sparkle on there and all that, but you know what? I get ornaments all the time, and I've got sparkles all over me from the ornaments. So, you know, you can try to get the glitter to stay on, but it doesn't always stay. So I try to brush as much of it away when I'm done with it, so I don't have excess stuff falling, but there'll always be some that fall off. Okay, so I'm going through my arsenal. I'm looking at options of what I can do for the glitter. I've got blue out, I've got white out, I've got green out. I got some little micro beads that I pulled out. No, we're not going to do the gold, Deb, put it away. But I'm thinking about glitter glue. You can use glitter glue, okay? Let me just talk to you about that. It takes a while to dry, okay, because it's thick, and it really does take a while to dry. You can use glitter glue and not have to worry about having glitter everywhere. Or you can be like me and like to make a mess with glitter and just go for it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my pinky, yes, my pinky, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to put little dots. Of course, I'm doing dots again because the whole dot theme is my theme. I like dots. So bees and dots. And so I'm going to put little dots all over the ball and close that up, because if you get the sparkles in your matte medium, it will change. The glitter, if it's green, if it gets in there, your matte medium will turn green on you. So beware. Shut your medium when you're pouring your glitter. So now I'm just going to cover those little spots that I put down with my pinky. Now, if you use your pinky to put your glue on your matte medium, your other fingers will not get all full of glue, and you can work with them. I learned that from somebody on YouTube. He was making like pop-up cards or something, and I'm like, this guy is so brilliant. He saved me from always wearing like gloves of glue on my hands. There's nothing worse than working with glue and you got them on all your fingertips. So this worked out perfectly. I'm busy talking about something. Come on, Deb, stop talking. But as you can see, the little green, it adds, this is why I like the glitter. It adds that one more layer of color. It's like painting with glitter now. Okay, we went from painting with acrylic to painting with glitter. And it just awakens that Christmas ornament so much. Without it, it's pretty, but with the glitter, it's beautiful. So yes, I highly suggest the glitter. Now these glitters, I don't even know what the name of them are. They stack on top of each other. Sometimes you can find them in the craft stores. I bought mine at Joann's Fabrics when they were closing out. And I wish I would have bought all of them, because it's great glitter. It's really fine. It's not thick and chunky. So it's really nice. What am I talking about? Okay, I'm going to have to stop the film here and splice this and then pick up, because I have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, I guess I'm not going to splice the film because I do end up stop talking and start moving here in just a moment. So just give me a moment. So I'm just kind of brushing off some of the green right now. And there you can kind of see what it looks like. And now we'll do the next one. Now this one, I'm assessing what do we do with this one. I've got the blue and the kind of yellowy gold kind of color. I think I'll probably end up doing blue dots on this one. And we're going to do the exact same thing that we did with the one where we did the green glitter. Oh, Deb, stop talking with your hands. Stop. What am I so busy talking about? Oh my goodness. Ken comes home from work. He says, "You talk a lot. You just rambling. You just talk." I said, "I do not. I'm not a big talker." And he's like, "Yes, Deb, you talk a lot." I don't think I talk a lot. I actually think I'm kind of quiet. No, I'm not. I'm not quiet, but I'm not like super, super talkative. Just go around the ornament looking for where I can add little bits of yummy blue, because this is going to be so pretty. Oh, so, so, so pretty. This is the blue. And this glitter, this really fine glitter, this one I got at Michael's. And that works really well too. It's really fine. I like the really fine glitter. I don't like the really chunky stuff. I mean, the chunky stuff is good for certain things. But for the ornaments, the really fine glitter's the best. Because you wouldn't want like sequence-like looking stuff on your ornament. That would look a little weird. So I'm like tapping, flicking the Christmas ornament, trying to get the excess glitter off. And I'm like, okay, now how do I get this all back in that container? And I do. I take these then paper plates and I go take them to my glitter box. I have an actual box for glitter. And I just kind of dump it all in there and I save it all. Okay, so now I'm assessing, do I use those micro beads on that? And I end up not doing the micro beads, but I am going to use this really light pink one. It's a little bit more coarse. It's not as fine as the other two. So you'll see this one, you'll see this glitter is more coarse, and it's so pretty also. This one ended up being my favorite Christmas ornament out of all of them. We always pick our favorites, right? Close the medium unless I want it pink. And just going to shake that around. And wherever it doesn't stick, I'll just use my fingers to load it that way. This is so gratifying to work with glitter because it's so pretty. And I don't know what it is with my brain. I'm like this little girl that never got to play with craft and art supplies. So now in my 60s, I'm doing everything I probably would have done as a little girl. I'm doing it as a grown adult. Maybe that's why my art has a whimsical side to it and a playful side to it. I'm not this person that likes technical art. I just don't. I just like fun, playful art. I just like to have fun when I create. I'm not looking to make a mighty dollar on selling what I paint. I just like to paint. I just like to have fun. Okay, so that's where we are with this stage. Now we're going to have to move into putting this. These have to dry, and then I have to, this is what I have to do. These Christmas ornaments, they came and they're always silver, but the silver on the ornaments to me look like Reynolds wrap. It looks like foil that you would wrap your turkey in. Okay, it looks cheap. It looks tinny. It's not attractive. And it looks like a little face that I made there. The nose and the two eyes. So all I'm using is Rub and Buff. If you've never used Rub and Buff, you can find it in the craft store. It's just like a waxy kind of material, and you just rub it all over the silver and it kind of clings to it, and then you just kind of rub it off and buff it, and it's really nice. It'll transform even your hardware. You can put this on the edge of, if you're painting a piece of furniture and you just want to add a little gold gilding like look to it, you can add a little bit of this to it. I mean, the stuff is really nice. We used it a lot with interior design when we needed to fix something. We would get our Rub and Buff out and say, we can fix that. Don't worry, if there was a little chip or something, we can fix that. Even the little wires here, I'm just going to coat them with that Rub and Buff. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about the Rub and Buff. We're going to move into ribbons. Now, I have a velvet ribbon here and another velvet ribbon, and then I have some sari ribbon, but I just felt like the fabric that I have, the quilting fabric is more whimsical and fun. So I am going to use quilting fabric for my ribbon. Now you can do whatever you want. I'm not suggesting you need to do what I'm doing here, but that's what I'm going to end up doing. And you're going to say, what do you mean by quilting fabric? It comes in like a roll. You'll see some of these. I'll pull them out. I'll pull one out here in a minute. Comes in like a 3 by 36 inch thing. See right there. There's one. Come on, pull it out, Deb, so you can show them. See them right there. They're about 3 inches wide, 4 inches wide, something like that. They might be like 36 inches long. And they're all different colors. And they kind of comes in a pack, a rolled up pack that you can buy it that way. And then all I do is just cut what I need and make my own ribbon from that. And it just turned out super, super cute. So now I'm just kind of going through what I have and what I think might work the best. And just trying to just trying to make the best choice. I think I'm going to use that one with the little dots, of course. I favor the dots. And all I'm going to do is just cut it just a little bit, and then I'm just going to rip. And I just tear it. And it's that easy. And maybe I'm going to make another one, make it a little bit thinner. And now I'm just going to put them to a certain length and put 2 or 3 depending on what I have. This is pretty thin, so I'll probably end up putting, I think I end up putting 3 on this one. And I'll just move on to the next step. Okay, I kind of cut a portion of that out so we didn't have to watch the whole process of me picking and cutting and, doing all that. So right now I'm just going to start attaching all the ribbons to the ornaments. And then I just kind of tie a knot up at the top. So that way you can actually put a little hook there and then it can dangle from the tree, or you can hang it from a branch just like that. So I make a little loop. So there you go. And somehow it was twisted. So I'm going to go back in and redo this one because the fabric was twisted. It's hard with using like 3 things of fabric to try to tie that. Okay, I'm gonna splice here and move forward. Okay, so I've got to my last one here. So these turned out super cute. I'll show a picture of what they look like all completed here. And I'll also show you the wrapping paper that I made to put them in. And they turned out super cute. You'll have to let me know what you think. You guys, I want you to be safe out there in this crazy world. Stay well, and may God bless. Bye for now.